whatever this is. Let me take y'all over to the bar. Ugh. Hi, Nuck.
Hi, it's me, John. I've wrangled back control of the bar from Miscelia.
Wrangled back? That insinuates that I stole it in the first place.
Correct.
What the fuck? I would never steal the bar. Scout's honor.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Have you played my game?
Your game?
Yeah.
Valhalla?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I played the game.
Okay. You're not Dana.
I guess you got me there.
All I'm saying.
I'm saying.
Anyways, let's go through the usual intro. As everybody's probably already aware, this is Sunset Dive. Hold on, I gotta read off my script. Yeah, as Miscelia has aptly renamed the bar, this is Sunset Dive, Vapor City's tried and true dive bar, not to be confused with, what is it, Cyber City?
Glitch City.
I don't fucking remember, dog.
You don't even
Glitch
remember
City,
your own
thank you.
city. What the hell?
Dog, leave me alone.
Get it together.
I was doing a bit. My bad. The bartender's been drinking his own stuff. Let's see. Pull up, take a seat, and if you're 21, over 21, or regional equivalent, get a drink. And our drink for tonight, chosen by Miscelia Dev, is spiked hot chocolate. Which is exactly as it sounds. It's just hot chocolate with alcohol in it. My usual preference is Bailey's, and I think Miss also mentioned that she has Bailey's in it.
Straight up, I
Bailey's
have some
and
Bailey's in
like
mine.
3 other things in there, but I don't have that much. I just have Bailey's, hot chocolate, and rum.
I do a little mixing.
True. Anyways, if you don't know Miscelia, I don't know why you're here, but this intro written by me. I didn't ask for your input. The 4th chairman of the Vapor City Yakuza, having succeeded in heavy quotes, her predecessors, she provides you with a wide variety of content almost every day. She'll work herself to death for fun. She's surrounded by her kyodai, and they will all say shit that will make you wish you were born without ears. You know her, you hopefully love her. The leader of Vapor City, Miscelia Dev. Give everyone give her a round of applause.
Punch.
All right. How would you like to introduce yourself?
You kind of took the words out of my mouth. That's pretty much everything that I say. So, like, you got that pretty word for word. Feels awkward to be introducing myself.
You should change your intro.
My bad. My bad, King.
All right. So to get the ball rolling, why did you choose this drink for tonight? I know you have a wide variety of drinks you've been testing with lately. You drink all sorts of things thanks to the delivery of copious amounts of alcohol to your home.
Yeah.
Any particular reason you decided to go with this for tonight instead of something else?
It's like my favorite seasonal drink. I only really get to partake of it in the winter, because a lot of the stuff is like, you know, you got the seasonal peppermint vodka that I like to have, got some seasonal peppermint Irish cream, and so like I just take full advantage in the winter, mix myself some hot cocoa, and put as much vodka and or other things in it as possible.
Yeah, you were listing. I don't remember everything you listed. I'll be honest. After Bailey's, my brain kind of immediately forgot everything you told me that was in there. So
I've got hot chocolate, and then it has some Bailey's. It has some peppermint Irish cream, some peppermint vodka, and then just a touch, just a touch of Fireball for a little bit of cinnamon taste.
Fireball. Ooh, the cinnamon.
Yeah, just an ounce, because
Yeah,
if you put too
just
much
some
Fireball in it, the drink is done. The drink is gone. It now
Yeah,
just tastes like Fireball.
Yeah, I've never used Fireball for mixing. I've only used it in poorly advised ways, like taking shots with it. Don't recommend doing that. It's pretty bad. Also, yeah. Anyway, that's. Yeah, I didn't know there was like seasonal Irish cream. Although I've never looked. I usually just get default Bailey's when I go. I know there's other flavors, but I haven't actually looked to see if there was any seasonal stuff. So
yeah, usually a lot of the seasonal stuff you can also get at like an actual liquor store and stuff, like all year round.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
the peppermint Smirnoff that I really like usually is only in the winter time.
Yeah, I know the last few times I've gone to check for the peppermint Smirnoff, it's been gone, or you know, either sold out or just not, and like not there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty limited. I should maybe just go to an actual liquor store, but that's a later problem.
We can go together. There's a couple things I still need to pick up, so.
Really?
Yeah. There's a couple things that I can't get at like a Safeway, like Pernod, which is like a, it's a little bit more of an expensive liquor, but it's used in a couple of the drinks in the Valhalla mixing book, and I really want to use it, but I can't get it where I normally go.
Makes sense. All right, before I start off with the questions, we can do a cheers.
Oh yeah, baby. I got my drink. Yeah. I have it way far away from me, so I don't risk tipping it over. Alright. Oh, put a controller on this. Come on.
I don't know where the mic is on my headset, so just pretend I clinked with you.
Yeah, I can donk.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, big
All right.
sips. Actually, real quick, I do also have a shot with me. An activator. It is
True.
absinthe, Midori, lemon, and lime. I figured a nice little shot to help start me off here.
Gotta get prepped for the bullshit I have ready for you.
Yeah.
I will disclaimer, there's some funny stuff in here, but I figured I'd leave most of the funny stuff to the people who submitted questions. I have a lot of general questions, you know, history of Mycelia Div. I figured since this is your subathon and you just recently had your anniversary this month, we could talk about the history for those who aren't familiar. And to start things off, why did you start content creation? And why did you... I know you've told the story of your roommate before. I don't know if everybody's heard it. But I'm mostly curious why you ended up sticking with it after that.
That's true.
You know, feel free to take it away.
Okay, I just realized how my controller's
However you wish to start that story.
Okay. So I guess starting with the roommate thing. When I was in university, I had a housemate who did some streaming, and he was really annoying about it. Like super loud at night, because he was like right next to me, like kept me up even though I asked him to shut the fuck up. He would like constantly be talking about it. He would constantly be trying to like rope people into his streams to like make the content for him. Like, man, just really annoying about it. And I got fed up, and I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna start streaming. And so at first It was like I only streamed like once a day on the weekends, and I was doing like a Super Mario Sunshine playthrough, because it was like one of my favorite games, and I do a bunch of stuff in the Discord because the Myceliaverse was like in its infancy back then too. Because I also made that Discord because I wanted to stop being in my housemate's Discord because he's fucking annoying.
The group chat without the annoying MF.
Yeah. And so spending a bunch more time in there, Nin, I got to know quite well. And with all of the gaming that we were already doing, Nin was just like, why don't you just stream this stuff too? Like, I was like shadow playing it or whatever, and so I could have like little videos to just like show the Discord and stuff. And it's just like, why don't you just stream it? It's that easy. And that like changed my entire mindset to, man, I really should just be streaming.
That was a critical inflection point in your life. Everything from there changed because of Nin.
Yeah, honestly. And I just sort of stuck with it because, like, I don't know, it's fun. I've second guessed it like a couple times and been like, you know, maybe I stop this year or whatever and like focus on other stuff. But I just keep coming back to it. It's just fun. It's fun to just be able to sit there and play shit and yap with people and share that yapping with chat, and chat can hang and yap with us. It's just fun. Sorry for punching chat. I didn't mean to. I love you. Pat pat.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially given the last anniversary video was a lot of clips of people saying bullshit instead of, you know, having the categorical stuff. It definitely makes sense that you stick with it like that. And I guess in that same vein, I don't know if I've ever heard the story behind it, but why Mycelia Dev for your username, and why sort of stick with that?
So, Mycelia was the name. It was just like, it didn't have a whole lot of meaning to it at the time when I first conceptualized it, because it was back when I played Terra Rising, and I played that game for like 3 years. It was an MMO, and I had my main character, my archer, was named Mycelia. It was like Mycelia Valier or something, and I just really liked that name, and so when it came time for me to actually like pick a username, I was already swapping my major from like psychology to computer science when I was in university, and so I added the dev as sort of a double meaning at the end, because it also stands for like the first part of my actual name, which I'm sure you could guess what it is. It's not like it, you know, it's been said before. Yeah. But I mean, it's been
to call you by that name.
Yeah, it's been said before on stream. However, if any of you in chat who don't know me IRL call me that, I will get you. Yeah, I grew over there. That's right.
You're pointing at your chat window. Chat's over there.
Hold on. Let me move this over here so I don't make mistakes. There we go. But yeah. And then the model came along with that, because at the time I was reading Okami Shonen, and by the way, if you haven't read that before, please do. But there's a sister in that show, or in that manga. I wish.
I don't know how that'd be like a 6-episode anime, dog.
It would be 6 episodes a peak. Give me just a movie. That's all I need.
You know what? Actually, a movie would work really well.
But the sister in that, just like the attitude she had, I like took a bunch of like screenshots of her panels and stuff, and then I cropped them to use as stickers for Snapchat. And then I thought about it for a second and was like, why, like, I could commission one of my artist friends who have commissions open to make my own OC for like all of this stuff. So that's how the model started, with the little star mark instead of the sister who has like a heart mark on the other cheek. So that's the model lore.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the design origins. I don't know if many people really are, but it's a very cool lore, and I have read it, and I will also double vouch for everybody to read it. It's a nice, short, sweet, like 30 chapter manga, and there's a lot of good. I still have a lot of good screenshot panels that Miss was talking about of the sister. I guess in that same vein, you know, as our resident Miscelia developer, what is one of your favorite things that you've developed? Not something we really get to see on stream much, but you know.
Yeah,
you still have that programming side to you.
It's funny because I want to do more with it this year. I'm thinking about it. I always think this every year. I'm like, oh, I want to do more development stuff, and then life happens, and then stream stuff happens, and I just focus on streaming more, and then I don't get any development done. But maybe this will be the year that I put the dev back in Miscelia dev.
2025, baby.
My favorite thing, I like the short projects. Like I made the Risk of Rain randomizer thing, the like one build, like one item per color build randomizer. I made the Back for Blood one was really fun to play around with.
Sure. I remember using that one, yeah.
Yeah, just scrapping that stuff together in like a day in Unity on stream was pretty fun. But man, I loved my capstone project. Genre Busters was really fun to make because I got to do a lot of the parts of game design that I really like actually like going and getting in contact with voice actors or like people to voice act, getting in contact with artists to do art, and sort of like doing a bunch of the management of the project on top of doing a lot of the coding, which I did with my I would say my partner did more of the technical stuff, and I filled out a lot of the other stuff and had a lot of the design part. I was the design front of that project, and he was the technical part of the project.
Both essential parts.
Yeah. But that was probably my favorite, and I really want to dip back into that again. There's no promises this year, but I was joking with Smickle about fucking around with. There's a tutorial in Godot for like getting started with basic fighting game sort of mechanics and like UI and that sort of stuff. And I think that is like because what I really want to focus on is scope, like a smaller scope for stuff, and then I can expand out if I want to. But I think with like previous projects, like trying to do the Misceliaverse project that I, was like the platformer roguelike that we were planning on before, it's just like
a huge scope.
Yeah, it was big scope, and I was ready to tackle it, but life was not ready to let me tackle it. So I want to focus on something smaller that's easier for me to take like bites out of, and I want to focus a lot of the like getting it together on like my end of things, and ask for help from other people. But like, I think having it be focused on like me getting to work on it will probably help me get it done in the long run. So. That's what you can maybe, hopefully, look forward to. No promises this year, Smiles.
It's okay, we drink for that.
Amen. Oh. All the way over here. I don't want to spill this shit. This would be a nightmare to get out of the carpet. Whew. Oh, I can already feel it. Oh, yeah, I told Nook before, but I am on like, as far as food goes, I am on like a single piece of peanut butter toast right now. So like, this shit is hitting me hard.
Yeah, probably harder than it's hitting me. A lot of Baileys. Okay. Alright, let's pivot back. Man, it's been a while since I've been the interviewer and not the interviewee. Let's pivot back a bit to streaming. A lot of new people here have known you from your VTubing era.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there before that. Well, I was there a little bit before that, not long.
Yeah.
But why choose to start VTubing? Because I know before you, like, there was brief time with using an actual face cam, which I don't think much of it exists anymore.
No.
And then after that, it was really just like a stream overlay and like a PNG. So why pivot to using an actual model and, you know, sticking with the VTubing thing?
Funny enough, I, like, before I started, like, streaming out of spite, I always did an Extra Life stream every year, which we always used, like, a camera for and stuff, and it was, like, I had been doing it since high school with some of my high school buddies, and then that gradually transferred over to, like, pulling Extra Life stuff into a stream every year. Not this last year, because life got ahead of me, but I'll probably do it again next year. But that all started as a bunch of IRL stuff, and so it felt kind of natural to go into IRL when I, like, first started, but it was, like, kind of exhausting when I was working and doing university as well, to, like, come home, want to put on stream, and be like, ugh, I have to make myself look at least a little bit presentable before I actually start streaming and stuff. So it's more just of, like, part of it was ease of access, which is why I just stopped doing a live cam at all, because I was like, I don't really care that much. And then
makes sense.
I fucked around with face rig as a joke initially. The orange-haired anime girl, default face rig Chan, and
I remember that.
Oh, after I got a taste of, like, what it felt like to have a model and, like, still be expressive, but you be able to have that, like, that degree of separation between, like, IRL and streaming, man, it was so hard to go back from there. I remember working
that barrier.
Yeah, I remember working at the Nintendo warehouse and, like, scrolling through Twitter looking for artists and eventually finding Leah Mama doing, like, her first set of models. And so I got my model from her, my first model, the, like, half body one, for, like, $600. Now Leah Models, just for her rigging, or just for her art, I can't remember which, just for one side of it is like $2 to $3K, depending on the design. So I'm just saying, I'm an OG.
True, you were one of the first, and naturally the Leah siblings arc after that followed.
Oh yeah. I love the Leah siblings. I'm still glad that I can hit them up and, like, hang with them and do streaming stuff with them still, especially now that, like, a lot of the siblings who initially had models from Leah don't have models from Leah anymore.
Yeah, she went on that long, it was a pretty long hiatus.
Couple years,
where
yeah.
She was taking a break. So, you know, naturally, if you want to get your model updated, your original parent isn't there. You gotta go find someone else. I know that's what Yuchi did. I think Rhea still has her Leah model, and she's getting a new one, I believe.
Rhea still has her model. Connie still has her model too. In fact, she just recently got an update with her return to streaming, an update of her model, like a 2.0 of it.
Yeah.
God, I'm so excited for the new YouTube model. It's so pretty.
Yeah, she's posted a few sneak peeks, but I'm sure you've gotten a few more.
Yeah.
In that vein, you know, I know you've mentioned it a couple times, but who are your inspirations for the content that you make and the sort of way you approach that content? And, you know, that can be other content creators, it can be any media that inspired you, whatever you think comes to mind when you think of the way you like to do what you do.
Inspirations, big inspirations. I don't necessarily vibe with her content now, but Nyanners was actually like a big... After I had already started streaming and stuff and already started VTubing, seeing some of the stuff that Nyanners was doing and like how she ran her streams while she was like in VShojo or just before, was like a big inspiration to me. So I looked up to her a lot. Mori has that same workaholic streak that I do, and I try to do the same sort of things of take on way more than I can chew and try to get it all done. So she's also a big inspiration for me as far as like big VTubers. Also Game Grumps, like huge inspiration. Just the way they make their content of just like sit back, chill, and just shoot the shit for like 5 hours over whatever game they're playing, and then cut the recording, cut it into 10-minute episodes, and then boom, you have content for like a week. It's just like, yeah. Man, they were a big inspiration of like how I do stuff now, and I think it shows at least a little bit.
Yeah, definitely with the shooting the shit over a game, regardless of what that shit may be. I know I'm not exactly guilt-free of that, as we saw.
Yeah, I mean, we all say some funny shit. It's whatever.
It's true. It's worth it.
I think the Adventure Zone as well is like a big inspiration for me as far as like tabletop stuff goes. They were some of the ones who made me want to do like a tabletop podcast way back while I was in university, and there was a few different iterations of that before I finally landed on Lacrimosa and completed Lacrimosa, which was like, true, you were there. Lacrimosa was like a huge achievement for me because it was like one of the first campaigns that I've ever finished, both as like a player or a DM, like gotten to the end of it. And like now knowing that, it has really made me control the scope of tabletop projects that I run and participate in, and also makes me yearn so much more for like being able to end them. Like, even though Morticians is going to be a longer one than like Lacrimosa was, I will tooth and nail do anything possible to make sure to reach an ending with Mortician's Journal, because ending Lacrimosa made me so happy.
Yeah, that was a pretty satisfying campaign to be a part of, so that was pretty nice to see the end of that, sort of see the whole story wrap up, because that one, like, aside from like usual tabletop stuff, like Monster of the Week really lends itself to being a lot more of a story focused campaign rather than like encounter and other stuff focused. So seeing that to the end was pretty nice. And Morticians is already shaping up to be like way longer than Lacrimosa, because I think we're already like coming up on 3/4 of a year, like almost a year since Morticians started. I don't remember exactly when it started, but like We're coming up on that already.
Yep. And so we're already longer. To be fair, we have also taken more like smaller breaks than we did with Lacrimosa. But
yeah, Lacrimosa was pretty regular for like 12 months.
Yeah. I'm trying really hard to... I think Lacrimosa was a good experience for me because it also taught me how to better like incorporate story within, and that's just from playing Monster of the Week, just a Monster of the Week like setting. Figuring out how to like drip feed you guys a good mystery and like encourage character to character roleplay and stuff like that. The one thing that I don't have as much of in Morticians, that I've been trying to figure out other ways to get around, is like NPCs that would sort of naturally inspire conversation between players and stuff. But I have plans. Smiles.
Yeah. Terrifying sentence, but yeah, it's definitely, I think given the setting of Morticians, it's a little harder to incorporate stuff like that. Because the people you meet down there will probably be few and far between, especially, you know, lower they go.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay. Let me take a gander at my doc here, because I was gonna ask about the tabletop stuff, but
I mean, if there's any more questions related to the tabletop, think of any off the dome.
No, I think we've covered a good amount about, you know, what got you into tabletop and like doing it a lot more, especially last year, because like we had Abomination Vaults, we had Morticians, you started Tip the Scales, and then we also started Season of Ghosts, so it's like four constantly running campaigns for you, one of which you DM and 3 of which you play, so
yeah, the ones that I play are definitely like, as I was DMing, I needed a creative outlet for being a player, because also being in a player in a bunch of different campaigns gives me a lot of insight of other ideas I can incorporate into Morticians. So it's a lot of like research almost. Also, Tip the Scales, which is also available on YouTube, by the way. You can check out Milk is Good, Ma'am, and their channel, and it's all up there. But Saki from that has been like probably the most emotionally invested in a character that I have ever been.
Yeah, you definitely talk about that character pretty fondly, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh. But alas. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, Vaults was like sort of our playground for really getting into Pathfinder 2e stuff. So, you know, as much as I really like playing Real, he's not a character I'm particularly attached to. Like, I like him. I like the character idea, and I like the way I play him, but, like, you know,
it's a lot more of like a
it isn't a character
setting
that I feel... Yeah. Like, I think still now, Wallace is probably the character I got the most attached to. Because he had like I had an initial idea of this character in my head, and it was mostly made as like a joke. You know, given the name, like I was like, when I was coming up with his name, I was like, it was like the time where being the whole wall thing from Ozfie was a big part of my bit. So I was like, I want to include that in the name, so I got the name Wallace, and I wanted to play like a funny idea of the Flake. So it started as like this joke of this like insane like one of those like tinfoil hat people that's like always posting this like wild controversy and like insider knowledge, quote unquote shit. Like his whole thing was just gonna be trying to find anything that could like back up whatever bullshit he was saying. And then it sort of evolved from there into a character that was like pretty stubborn and kind of an asshole, but like cared. You know, one of those archetypes that's like pretty mean to you, but definitely still cares, even though, you know, he still says some bullshit. So that was pretty cool to see the evolution of that from like kind of a joke character to like something I actually gave a shit about the story of. And I think like characters now, I have stuff maybe set up for that, but I don't think we're just not far enough into some stuff for it to matter yet. So
yeah, I think a big thing between Monster of the Week and like P2E in general is just like it's a pacing thing, because P2E is like more focused in combat and like some other like encounter by encounter stuff, rather than Monster of the Week, which is like, you know, especially for Lacrimosa, which was like every hunt was a month, was its own whole month. And so like the timeline moves a lot faster than something like P2E, where, you know, we have our, like, for Mortician's Journal, for example, like in a single session you guys might get through like 5 encounters, and that'll be like 5 hours in game time. And rather than Morticians, where it's a month, and then there's the monthly meeting, and then another month has passed.
Yeah, definitely a lot faster paced of a story. All right, before we derail too much into talking about tabletop RPGs, let's pivot back a little bit. I wanted to ask, you know, on your inspirations, I know you've been, well, I guess I wouldn't say as much lately, but for a time you were pretty involved in like VTubing and had an eye on like the community stuff. So what were some of your biggest qualms with content creation and the community around it, especially, you know, particularly VTubing, but anything that comes to mind really is fine.
You've learned well. You asked about the tea.
Tea is always interesting.
It's true. I think the big thing for me when it comes to VTubing that really frustrated me, it's the reason why I've like sort of distanced myself from the VTubing community as a whole, is it's just like it's so hard to take people at face value, because that's kind of all they are, if that makes sense. Like, there's just so many people putting on a face and like wanting to use other people as a stepping stone to, like, you know, pull more viewership, get bigger, get partnered, get so on and so forth. And it's so incredibly draining to like talk to somebody for a while, you know, feel like you're pretty good friends, and then they hang out with like a couple bigger VTubers and they like move on to like that next rung, or like they find another clique, and then boom, you are like gone from their life. Like, you message them and it's like, hey, do you want to do a collab or something? And they're like, ooh, I'm busy actually. And it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then you hit them up again another time and it's like, hey, do you want to do this thing? And they're like, sorry, I don't know if I'll be able to make the time. And I'm like, ooh, that's it. That's like, I'm a very like 2 strikes person when it comes to stuff like that. Like, if it's the first time, then, you know, it's happenstance. It's a coincidence. It's whatever. If it's the second time, I get the picture. I'm an understander. I'm not gonna waste my time. It's a different story if they then reach back out to me later and are like, hey, you know, we weren't able to do it before, let's do something. But it, after like my second attempt of trying to hang out with somebody, like, I need to see movement on the other side.
Yeah, if they're not really leaving any openings for like rescheduling, like they say I'm busy, but they don't offer like, you know, when I'll be free, when I'd want to do something like that. It's kind of like, definitely. I can think of a particular example from a different friend that comes to mind when you were saying that. So I think you might have had that same person in mind when you were giving that example.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's just stuff like that that like really gets on my nerves, and it happens all the time at content creation. So it's like I feel really lucky when I find people that I'm willing to like really talk to and hang out with and like spend more time with outside of even just VTubing or content creation in general. So that's probably my biggest qualm. It's just like people being incredibly fake.
Yeah, that's really annoying, but you know, you always have in that bunch of people who are fake motherfuckers, it's always nice to find the people who will still like hang out with you and want to hang out with you and like hit you up for stuff, even if it's not for like content, just to talk.
Just to hang.
Yeah. Alright, what else do I have written down here? We touched on it earlier, but I figure a lot of people probably aren't familiar, especially newer folks, aren't familiar with why all the emotes look like you. So would you like to explain the Myceliaverse to us? And how that eventually ended up becoming Vapor City?
Myceliaverse started as like an old bit in the Discord where people just started changing their names to like Mycelia but blank. And it got out of control incredibly fast, and so I just owned it and was like, alright, this is a thing now. This is just how it's gonna be. And so like all of the emotes look like me because all of the emotes also represent a community member. Usually Kyodai, pretty much all Kyodai now. In fact, there's a couple that I still want to get because I still need one for John and I still need one for Car, I believe. And so it's just like it got out of hand, and so I took the reins and made a whole thing out of it. And then I decided with my 3.0, with you know, the model that you see and know today, that I wanted to take a step away from it, because I was really worried that like while it was a really good inside joke, it's like kind of immediately off-putting to newer people, and it's like hard to know who the fuck you're talking to when there's 8 billion people named Mycelia but blank. Which can be funny, and some people stuck around seeing that and were like, oh, ha ha ha, this is funny. But other people saw it and like bounced off of it because it's like, ooh, it's really hard to participate in this community when everybody's named like this and stuff. And there's still a couple remnants with people with Mycelia butt names, and I think it's fine. It's funny still. But
yeah, it seems like mainly Kyodai, but I think I've seen like a couple of other people who were around at the time still with that name.
Yeah.
The Myceliaverse naming scheme.
But yeah, so I wanted to get away from that, and so I had the idea of Vapor City and sort of everything that entails. Although, like, I've gotten a little lost in the sauce when it comes to it, but I do have some plans this year to start bringing things back together. There's a big thing that I want to do, but it's all going to hinge on whether I get income or not, like actual income, because it's going to be an ounce spendy, but I really want to do it. So hopefully, praging, I can do it this year. But yeah, expect more Vapor City stuff soon. Smiles.
The lore returns.
Yeah.
Yeah, there kind of wasn't too much on it last year, but like it was kind of established, you know, with the stream overlay and the setting and stuff. Like, it kind of just felt like an understanding of what it was. So like, you know, not a lot of VTubers after their initial intro really stick with that lore stuff. Like, it just kind of sits to the side. So, you know, it's always fun to do stuff with it, but you know, there may not always be the necessity to do it, but it's always fun when it's brought up again, because it's like, I know that.
Oh my god, that's reference! That's reference to Thing! It's like watching the Mario movie. Just sitting there going, that's a mushroom! That's mushroom! I know that one!
Me looking at the future Mycelia Vapor City project and going, wow, she really did her homework.
So true. Holy shit.
I fucking hate that phrase. It's so funny though.
It kills me because I love it, but like that particular tweet kind of ruined it in a way that like now all that I can think of when I hear that is that tweet.
It's so fucking funny. Ooh, all right. I guess while we're talking about it, you got any big plans you've thought of for this year? Anything you in particular want to achieve? Small, big, anything you want to do more of, less of?
I mean, obviously we're still in the tabletop minds.
Right.
Because, you know, as we mentioned before, 1 campaign that I'm running and 3 campaigns that I'm in. There's gonna be a lot of tabletop this year. So I hope you guys like tabletop. Because that's not stopping. Hope you guys like chilling to that. But I mentioned before about wanting to try and dip my hand back into some development stuff. I was thinking with Monster Hunter dropping of throwing my hat in the ring of like doing some like, it feels weird to say like legitimate content creation, but like more focused content creation on Monster Hunter Rise, or not Rise, Wilds. Since that's going to be a huge thing that us and our group are going to be into. So maybe finding some like challenges or like other stuff around that to do.
Oh my god, Mycelia weapon guides.
Could be fun. I think rather than like straight up guides, I'd want to do more like giving my experience with each weapon, because there's a lot of weapons that I just have no fucking clue how to play. But like,
right,
going through a bunch of hunts, like building up a weapon, like a I don't know, I've never played like Switch Axe before, so like learning to play Switch Axe and like actively playing it and like on stream and stuff, and then making some short-ish form content on like, hey, this is my experience with Switch Axe and these are the things that I learned. Like stuff like that, which I think could be really fun. So
yeah, definitely be cool just playing a weapon up, showing sort of the process of going, how you think about building out that weapon as you play more with it, and sort of what you're looking for. But like, also it's going to be different with Wilds because they're going to change how the armor and the weapon stuff work to accommodate for 2 weapons. So like, it could be especially interesting for people who might think that's a bit daunting, to like have to pick 2 weapons and build around them.
Yeah, I think finding like a sub-weapon is going to be the most interesting part, and I think it's going to be the thing that swaps around the most for me. It's going to be what's in my back pocket. Because I just have no idea what to really do with. Like, I got a taste of it during the beta, but we couldn't do like actual builds and stuff during the beta.
Right.
So like, I didn't get to see what that really felt like outside of just, you know, having a bow in my back pocket for when the monster goes up in the air and decides to be an asshole. Then I can sit there and shoot it since I can't hit it with my hammer. But
yeah.
Why did chat explode? Where did chat go?
Uh-oh.
Did I accidentally grab them?
Chat Chat, where are you? She dropped you on the floor, chat. Yeah, I think the open beta test just was like press buttons. But yeah, go on. Other than that, sorry. Yeah, happens in Discord, happens more in VR chat, so.
I sure am muted on stream. That's epic.
Uh-oh.
We've been dropped or broken. Some taquitos? Yeah, sure. Put them on top of my PC there, Swarms, and I'll eat them later.
Wait, when did you get muted?
I'm not sure.
Chat, how long has Miss been muted?
I see.
Oh, since we were dropped? Okay.
Oopsies! Like 3 minutes. Okay. So... where did I start the conversation? It was like...
Talking about latter half of the year.
Oh yeah. I'm not really super worried about the latter half of the year. I'm more focused on like... sort of quarters of the year right now. So like this first quarter of the year is going to be me catching up on subathon incentives, like doing Terraria Infernum, Rabbit and Steel stuff, putting up all those forums, a Nuzlocke that will be voted on by chat, getting tabletop stuff back up and running. It's gonna be busy, but I'll tackle it. On top of doing the Advent, on top of doing the Advent calendar stuff, we're trying my best to. And then trying my best to sort of wrap as much of that up before March. And then March is going to be Monster Hunter. I hope you guys like Monster Hunter because that is going to be all of March. It's just how it is.
I love Monster Hunter.
With maybe one day being in there of Everhood 2, because supposedly it's supposed to have like an early 2025 release, so you might see a day of me doing like a 20-hour binge of Everhood 2. But
I'm gonna have to do that too if my friends are like you and Early have talked about it. And I'm like, damn, I want to do that so I don't get spoiled.
So yeah, that's going to be like the first part, and I just don't really know what the rest of the year is going to look like because there's a lot of things up in the air of like that will affect whether or not I'm streaming more, streaming less, have money to work with, don't have money to work with. The other thing that you guys can be assured of for April, I guess, which is like the 4th month, is a SakuraCon vlog, which I'll be recording while I'm at SakuraCon, and we'll see when it actually gets uploaded, Smiles.
Yeah, you don't want to live stream that kind of thing.
No. It's good. I mean, I might do like a funny... I always talk about doing a live stream, like, at the con, like in a room. And now that we actually have like an Airbnb this year, I might actually do that rather than like a little hotel room with not much to do in it. So...
Oh no, I'm gonna have to behave myself if you do that.
Nah, are you kidding me? You see how we already act on stream?
I can get worse.
But yeah, that's
I'm kind of glad.
Sort of what I'm looking at this year.
Go ahead. Kind of glad I don't have like full body tracking because it's not tracking the fucked up way I'm standing right now. Alright, anyways. Haven't drank in a while, so cheers to all the goals for 2025.
Yeah, cheers to whatever the fuck this year is gonna be.
Year of the Snake, baby. This is gonna play copious amounts of hit game Snake.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna play Snake on Zenless Zone Zero. Snake Duel, baby. Let's go.
Oh.
Hey chat, did you know you could play Zenless Zone Zero?
Whoa,
using
what
the code?
Fuck happened? What happened to... Why am I levitating now? What happened? Where am I?
Hey, you're getting taller. This isn't fair.
I don't know what fucking happened after I took my drink. 1 second.
Oh! Neck is fucking dead.
Nope, that didn't fix it. I don't know how to fix this.
Oh, you are levitating. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix this.
Maybe reset your height?
How do I do that?
Oh, fuck.
If I change avatars, is it gonna fix it? Oh, that did something.
You're still off the ground a bit.
Yeah, I definitely am. Whatever, we can worry about it later.
It's okay.
It's not that important.
Chat can't see your feet because there's a bar in the way, so.
True.
You're just on a step stool.
Alright. A couple more questions and then probably take a break since we've been at this for a little over an hour.
Sounds good to me.
I guess just some general questions. Let's see. We've talked a bit about your streaming arcs, but which of your streaming arcs was your favorite? And if you can't pick one, when did you feel like you really hit your stride with it?
Oh, fuck. I always feel like I'm getting sort of better every year when it comes to streaming. Like this last year has been some of my favorites because like all the tabletop stuff starting, I love tabletop. And so being able to really sink my teeth into a lot of it again has been really nice, especially as a player, because I cannot remember the last time I really played regularly in a campaign.
Yeah.
So like getting to do that has been super fun, and chat seems to have been enjoying all of the tabletop stuff, or quite a bit of it. Every time I get a message from Smickle about Mortician's Journal, my heart lights up like a lantern. And it's just, it makes me.
He's kind of the Mortician's fan.
Yeah, he's #1 Mortician's fan. So like every year I feel like I'm getting better, but I feel like I really hit my stride content creation wise over the pandemic. It was like sorta around. It was when I was doing like a ton of Leah sibling collabs and a ton of other stuff like that, like kind of that sort of stuff. I think my viewership was like some of the highest back then. So like numbers and like content, like feeling like an actual content creator, air quotes, that was probably when I felt the most like one. Now I just chill the fuck out, and I'm glad that people are around to watch. I mean, I do my own stuff too, like obviously with like Sunset Dive and other event stuff. Like I tried hard to make like content, but man, I just love fucking around and doing shit. Which is unfortunate because the algorithm doesn't always like me just fucking around and doing shit, but I love fucking around and doing shit. So, it is what it is.
At the end of the day, it's really just what you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
However that ends up reflecting on the arbitrary ass algorithms we have the content on.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Are you Dracula at me?
The Italiano, more so.
Are you sure?
I just can only
Is Dracula Italian?
I don't think so. I can only do so much with my hands. For some reason, they're not doing the like expression lock right now.
I can't pinch my fingers with controllers. That's okay.
That's fucked up.
Alright. I do have one more question. Wait, let me make sure. Staring at a white screen.
The scariest.
No, I just Google Docs. Sure. Just making sure I covered everything I wanted to. Alright, one more. Oh, okay. Two more questions. Two more fun ones. As our resident roguelike enjoyer, I know you love having a roguelike mode in every video game. Explain to all of us why you love the genre so much and why everyone else should also love it.
I don't know about why everyone else should always love it, because, you know, everybody has their own tastes and so on and so forth, but I love it.
Okay, but your opinion has to be the correct one, so you gotta convince us why it's the correct one.
Oh, okay. I don't know, roguelikes are big for me because they give me, like, just that feeling of, like, making a build on the fly. Like, my favorite part of, like, for example, JRPGs or, like, RPGs is in making the build. Is like actually constructing it on the fly and, like, you know, building to those heights. And roguelikes let me do that constantly, because once I get to the end of a JRPG or an RPG, it's like I could play through the game again, like the whole game again. Like, it's really, for Elden Ring, for example, like I could play through all of Elden Ring and try a new build and stuff. But, like, I already know where everything is, I've already, you know, done this, done that, and it's a long-ass time commitment as well, so, like, I'm less incentivized to, like, go through that building process again. But, like, for roguelikes, it's kind of the point. To try all these different things and try, you know, like, challenge runs and stuff, make it hard. Downloading stupid modded difficulties in Risk of Rain that are bullshit, and, like, trying to think my way through them. Like,
I fucking hate those modded difficulties.
See, there's something in me that loves them because I can think about, like they always nerf certain items that they think are, like, too broken, and, like, add other bullshit. And it's like, what did they not think about that I can take advantage of? Like, that's what I love to mix and match and, like, figure out exactly how to chew through it. But yeah, mostly just that process of building on the fly feels really, really good. I mean, it's the reason why I really like, I think Remnant, the like roguelike mode in Remnant 1 is insanely good because it lets me have that experience of, like, playing through Remnant again, but I get to do all of the fun building stuff on the fly rather than actually playing through Remnant again, which, you know, has its own fair share of, like, grinding and cool secrets and, like, other stuff. But I can kind of, yeah, an RNG. But I can do all of that in sort of the roguelike mode and, you know, still get that taste of being like, ooh, I got this item and this item, I should go for a summoning build. Or, oh, I have a really nice melee weapon and I got the ring that gives me lifesteal on melee, I should just build super tanky and, like, do a melee build. Like, that feeling of, I got 2 items, I'm going to make a build out of this, is, like, my entire mindset when it comes to roguelikes. And I think it's really fun.
Makes sense. I mean, I love it for a lot of the same reasons. Like, just finding shit and doing a build around it, or what I often like to do is trying to force a build every single time and getting varying degrees of success on that, and you know, coping with my luck and finding alternatives. I think is also very fun.
Yeah, or just seeing like a single. I know I literally did this in Peglin with my very first run. I saw one word, which was spinfection, which is like the poison in that game. And I saw that and I went, I am going to grab every single item that even like remotely relates to this. And I just like kitchen sink build, like grabbed everything I could, and I ended up winning my very first run of Peglin because I have my doctorates in pegging. But
True.
It's that feeling. I just love it so much. Gives me replayability in like a way that, as much as I love like standalone titles. Don't get me wrong, like playing through like, for example, Void Stranger, which I recently played through, would make no fucking sense as a roguelike. And I loved playing through that game. But like,
I mean, you could make like a roguelike mode for it, but like,
but
have the game itself like.
I have no reason to replay through the entirety of Void Stranger again, especially now that I am the knower. So like, it's that sense of like, I can play a roguelike, I can put hours and hours into a roguelike, as long as I have that itch to play it, I can go and play it. Whereas if I have an itch for more Void Stranger, I only have so much Void Stranger that I can do.
Yeah, getting the Outer Wilds bug after finishing Outer Wilds, and there's like not really anything like it.
Yeah.
Curse. It's a curse. But it's a great experience.
True. Would recommend. Yeah. Oh, big stretch.
Great. Yeah. One more question. We'll take it to a break, and we'll get to viewer questions. So make sure you hit up that forum and submit any questions you might have for Miscelia. I lied a little bit on the forum and said Miscelia subathon anime so we could keep this a surprise. But now that you know, you can go ahead and go submit questions that you would like answered.
True.
All right. To wrap everything up, completely unrelated to everything we've talked about, give me your elevator pitch on your #1 anime and why you think everyone should watch it.
I hate it. You said my least favorite words, which is like #1 pick.
You can lie. Pick an anime.
I'm so bad at favorites.
Pick one.
I will say, okay, I'm getting there. I'm gonna say Gurren Lagann, and my elevator pitch is there is just something about humanity trying their best to push forward and like succeed against all odds that fills me with so much determination, so much oomph, that every time I go back and watch Gurren Lagann, it refills. It feels like I have like a hole in my heart that like empties over time, and every time I watch Gurren Lagann, it like patches it back up again. It's like you're good, you're good. Keep on trucking.
Solid. I was thinking you'd probably pick that one, and that's why I made that question. So passed my test with flying colors. All right, let's take it to like 10-15 minute break. You can go get yourself some more snacks or whatever you would like to eat. I'll round up viewer questions. Yippee! Thank you, Kyrie. Everyone say thank you, Kyrie. Take 10-15. We'll kick it to viewer questions. So, you know, everybody go, get up, stretch, take your potty break, get something to drink, and we'll come back and answer your questions.
Yippee!
All right.
Oh yeah, I have to be the one to hit BRB. Okay. Okay. I just realized that I had my mic unmuted. Hi, gamers. It's just about that time again. Let me get all set up. I hope y'all turned in your questions. You better have. Alrighty. Let's do one of these. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. There we go. Third tries the charm. I kept mislooking.
There's definitely a few of these questions we've already talked about. Let's get the. Okay, let me get in position.
It's okay.
Oh,
I'm sure I could think of other shit to talk about when it comes to any other questions. So.
Okay.
As long as you don't ask me about my favorites again, I'm gonna fucking get you.
I love putting you on the spot like that. There was some questions where I wanted to ask about your favorite stuff, but then I remembered how you feel about it, so I gave you an out. Like your favorite streaming arc, I gave you an out. For the anime one, I didn't want to give you an out. I wanted you to pick one.
I'm just so bad at picking favorites.
Then just pick one you like and call it your favorite, because it's technically your favorite.
Yeah, usually that's what I do. Is I almost talked about Your Lie in April instead for the anime one, but I was like, I'll go with Gurren Lagann. It's just like I could probably easier pick a favorite in a genre, like. You gave me like romance or action or something like that, I'd probably be able to better pick a favorite. But like favorite of all anime or favorite of all video games, I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know. I like so many things for so many different reasons. I don't like comparing them.
It's hard. It's hard to compare stuff that's like doesn't have much to compare. Because like at that point, it's just what made you feel more, you know? Because it's like how you comparing Gurren Lagann to your line in April, right?
Yeah, it's like what the fuck am I supposed to say? Real quick before we start questions, I'm gonna chug the rest of my hot chocolate because it's starting to get like cold, and I'm gonna start on
mine is already cold.
Yeah, I did pour myself a second drink. It's not quite jungle juice, but it's something that I'm experimenting with. So, but let me chug the rest of this shit, and then I'll be good to go. Ugh, I have to take off my headset for this. Wah. I'm drinking it straight from the table.
I've poured myself too much.
Woo!
It's okay. I'll finish it by the end of the night.
That's a lot of alcohol. Oh, fuck. Okay, maybe there was a little bit more in there than I thought there was.
I can't realistically finish my my drink right now because I still have like a cup and a half left. Because when I finished pouring all this stuff, it was like more than 3 cups of spiked hush chocolate. So it'd be a bad idea for me to try to chug it all. So I have like a third left now, but
yeah, I had like a third of my glass.
I'll probably just make my stomach.
I had like a third-ish of my glass left, and I was like, yeah, I could probably just throw that back. And I got most of the way through throwing it back, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt your tummy. We
okay.
have your questions to answer. You don't want to make your stomach hurt.
My stomach is reinforced with taquito now. I'm good to go. Thank you, Kyrie.
Taquito barrier.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyrie. Alright. First question to kick off the segment. From Bottled Boats. What has been your favorite and least favorite late night / D-Gen conversations?
My favorite late night / D-Gen conversation. Hold on, I just realized
Favorite?
something. Hold on.
What's up?
I just realized that you guys have been missing out on music this whole fucking time! So I forgot to switch the audio capture over to VR chat, like an idiot!
Ooh. Wait, how have they been hearing me?
That's a good question. Wait, you do have music? How the fuck are you guys getting music? Oh, you know what? I have the audio capture on for the for the game capture. Never mind. We're all Gucci. Yep, I'm seeing it now. Okay, never mind.
It would have been really concerning if I was interviewing you and giving you all these questions and talking to you, and nobody was hearing my side of it.
Yeah, and in hindsight 2020, yeah, you're right. My favorite D-Gen conversation.
Favorite and least favorite.
Favorite and
so
least
one you
favorite.
wish didn't exist, and one that you were glad you were a part of.
As much as cause like a lot of the time I feel like I end up having to be the straight man for like some of them. It's like it goes back and forth. We all play the straight man for a lot of these bits. Somebody has to. But like honestly, I kind of love them all. I'm very open when it comes to like just bullshitting, especially because I know a lot of the time that we're just bullshitting, so I don't really care. The only time that I feel like uncomfortable is when it starts to get a little problematic, which we don't do very often, but sometimes it happens, and I usually take the conversation. I'm like, okay, let's talk about something else.
We've never made problematic conversation.
No.
I can't think of a single time.
We've gotten hope, but like, most of the time, I'm honestly pretty chill with kind of whatever. I feel a little bad because I know like, not everybody in chat is like, you know, some people in chat prefer more like say-so or like closer to say-so stuff. Or like maybe just not as much of the cum jokes and stuff like that. But like I'm just here to fuck around and have a good time, man. I'll think a lot of stuff is funny as long as it's like said in a knowingly joking way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only problem is when somebody sticks on something like a little too long, like doesn't get the cue to like move on to a new bit, and like keeps hopping back to it.
It's okay. You can say you hate me and Smickle. That's fine.
I don't. You guys, when you guys start cooking, like it's incredibly fucking funny. Like usually I'm hyper focused on whatever the fuck I'm doing, so like I just put up with it. But like like when you started talking about the crab versus worm stuff, like the other day on stream, like I was losing my shit. And like, it took every bone in my body to hyper focus on fighting Crabulon and not like lose my focus and start dying. Like, I don't know. I just love that shit. I love when people just yap. I'm a big yapper. If I had to
I'll
choose
forever remember.
a particular bit to like dislike. Oh fuck. It's hard. Sometimes things do get an ounce too personal, and that's when I get like a little agitated. It's like if things feel like too personable of an attack on like somebody, then I start to be like, hey, let's not do that. Like I sometimes feel like we hit like Roman a little bit too hard, or like sometimes things will. There was like one time in particular when things got to me pretty bad, and like I just had to stop and take a breather. Usually I can take a lot. I don't really care that much about what people say about me, but it's like certain little topics. Everybody has their buttons, you know.
Yeah, I've definitely tried to reel back on bullying Roman too much, because I definitely started feeling like there was a point where it was a bit much. So.
Yeah. But sometimes they're just asking for it. Sometimes they say stupid shit, and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? Why are you talking about sniffing gamer smells while we're playing Valhalla?
Yeah,
What
that
are you
one.
doing?
Sometimes it's warranted, but it's mostly like in situations where it's just like there was no reason.
Yeah. What the fuck are you doing?
But it's okay, Roman. We love you. Yeah, I'll always fondly remember the FGC Brothers night. It wasn't on stream.
Yeah.
But that was an incredible night for me.
Yeah, FGC Brothers was huge. I love all that shit. Literally anytime I get you and Smickle, there's a reason why it's a bit now with you and Smickle being in the call with me hyper focused. Literally the fucking the day and night. What like
What?
It's just that. It's me locked the fuck in on whatever I'm doing, and then you and Smickle just yapping. Oh.
Yeah, that day something beautiful was born. All right, next question from Anonymous. Who or what are your favorite little guys in media?
Oh my god, my favorite little guys? Recently, I do really like Zenless Bang Boo. I love Zenless Bang Boo.
I love their run animation.
Yeah, their stupid little, their hands in the air. Dude, fucking this shit.
Yeah, fucking stupid ass animation.
Fucking stupid. Ochi is up there as well. Ochi stole my heart.
Ochi's a goat.
Was that 2 years ago? Like a year and a half-ish.
No, not quite yet.
It was 2023, right?
Yeah, but we just started 2025. You can't call it 2 years yet.
It's like a year and a half-ish.
We're getting there, though.
That fucks me up. Time isn't real. The OG, though, is Tattle. Tattle Majora's Mask is, like, kind of one of my favorite little guys ever. I love her. She's such a fucking brat.
Tattle's the one that hangs out with you, right? For Majora's Mask?
Yep.
And then Tail is the asshole.
Tail is the one who's with Skull Kid, who sticks with Skull Kid, and then Tattle gets left behind by Skull Kid, and is like, at first just trying to get back together with Skull Kid, and is like using links as a means to an end, and then realizes like, oh fuck, Skull Kid is doing like bad things. Like, Skull Kid is kind of being a huge asshole. Maybe we should work together to stop them.
Yeah.
I fucking love Tattle. Tattle's kind of an asshole. It's true, but like, man, I just think Tattle is like one of the most personable, like, Zelda partners ever. Like, to this day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not that I can really speak to it as the resident person who has played like 2 Zelda games at this point.
it's okay. You can add Majora's Mask to your advent calendar, Smiles.
I can add it as the old game.
Oh, that could be good.
I have Ikaruga as the old game right now.
Ah, that is an old one.
That can change. Yeah, it's pretty old. Man, there's so many good little guys. Who's the one I always think of?
Chompy, Smiles.
It's like, oh my god, I love Chompy. Chompy's my favorite little guy. Thank you. I love Chompy so much.
I knew. I was the knower.
I love that. I love that stupid plant.
Dude, that little
They're
plant.
such a great party member. So much free damage, and you get to put a bow on them.
It's true.
Peak game design.
Majora's will be 25-year-old. Ah! My bones!
Damn. I'm older than Majora's Mask.
That's crazy. See, it would be a perfect old game for your advent calendar.
I'm like barely a year older than Majora's Mask. Yeah, Chompy should be mandatory. Alright. Next question from Viper. How does it feel to be so fucking cool and awesome? Also, will you ever do merch?
Oh fuck, dude. I don't know.
The 2-piece.
Every time I hear like shit like that, or like I watch a YouTube video about a YouTuber talking about their experience with imposter syndrome, I'm like, oh fuck, like, damn.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's. I also get it. I've definitely suffered from imposter syndrome, but like, yeah, this. Unless you want this to be therapy time, we can talk about it.
Maybe not right now. The most that I will say is
We can
like,
trauma dump on stream.
it's okay. That's what the bar is for. That's what the drinks are for. We played through Valhalla. There was tons of people who trauma dumped real.
Yeah, this is the trauma dumping bar. You can go ahead.
I don't know. I won't talk too much about it, but it's like, I am very happy to hear when people like look up to me or like, you know, or think a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is cool, like stuff like that. And sometimes my brain is like, oh fuck yeah, like that's right, I'm her, like hell yeah. And other times I look at it and I just hear like TV static in my head. Like it's like, is it me they're talking about? Are you sure? Like, fuck. But I have to. I think I deal with it pretty well. I'm good at taking a step back and like looking at the stuff that I've done and being like, yeah, you know what? I have been doing some cool shit this year. Like, I think that's a lot of what the anniversary video is for me. Is me going through old clips, because like before I made the anniversary video, I was kind of like a little down in the dumps about content creation stuff, and then I started seeing all the clips pour in from people and like seeing all the funny shit and cool shit we did this year, and I was like, you know what, this year was a lot better than I thought it was. Like it was pretty cool. So I think I'm better than some about like being able to step back and look at that, but like I don't know, that's kind of how I feel about it. I feel kind of neutral. I'm just doing what I do. If you think that's cool, that's poggers, and I'm happy about that. Also, yes, I do plan on doing merch. Especially with the subathon, Smiles, there will be a vote to see what merch item I make. Could be a shirt, could be a hoodie, could be a coaster. I don't fucking know what you guys want. But we're gonna vote on that, and I'm gonna try my hardest to get something together so I can get some goddamn
Chat,
merch
vote
to
for
you
the
guys. Hat would be poggers. I just
Also, sorry to derail,
what's up?
but your right arm is like fucking broken. It's been distracting me for the last 5 minutes.
It's because I've been dangling my controller behind my chair, like this. So yeah,
Okay.
that's my bad.
I thought it was something. I thought it was something like that.
Yeah.
But I've just been like watching it like flail around behind you, and it's been a little bit distracting.
Yeah, I've been swinging them around. But yeah, I've wanted to do merch for a really long time, and I've tried to look at a couple ways to do it. Like I tried getting into, I can't remember what the merch group is called, but the same one that's like Rei and Yuchi is in, and I haven't heard back from them.
Yoru no Machi, I think, or something
Yeah,
like that.
Yoru no Machi. Like hit them up and haven't heard anything back from them, and I've hit up a couple other places. I've tried to talk to Early about it, and like we haven't been able to find much. So
Yeah.
I'm going to hear what y'all want. And I will be asking for somewhat serious answers, as much as I would love to give you guys themed sledgehammers, which is like my dream merch item. I don't think that's going to be very possible right now. But,
I'd do it. I'd get one.
huge.
Keep it in my house as a self-defense weapon.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try my best to get something to y'all this year. So listen more for that. Look out for the forum. It's gonna have a bunch of stuff for voting for all the subathon stuff, including what Nuzlocke I'll be playing, like what game I'll be Nuzlocking, merch item, my next outfit is going to be voted on as well. There's a couple things, so keep an eye out for that.
Yippee! I can't wait to wear the Mycelia hat.
Yippee!
Yes, John, you can buy the bar if you pay me enough money.
Hey, don't go selling my bar.
That's
I'm
mine
renting
for the day.
it.
True. Next question from Kyrie. Everyone say hi, Kyrie.
Oh my god, hi Kyrie.
Describe your ideal pizza.
Ooh, my ideal pizza?
Mm-hmm.
Man, have a couple. I'm such a whore for food. I love so many different kinds. I think one of my favorites is a Forelli's pizza, and it's the James favorite, and I believe it is I want to say it's chicken sausage bacon on white sauce, like oven baked pizza.
Sounds about right.
It's so fucking good. I love that shit so much.
Vouch. I'll vouch for that.
See, I'm sorry. It's like my default position right now. I'll hold
That's
on.
okay. I'm
Let me
looking at the
recalibrate.
questions. I'm not distracted right now. I'm looking at the questions.
Let me lock the fuck in. Ugh.
Lock in? If you lock in, you can do anything.
True.
Alright. Yeah, I'll vouch for that pizza. That's a good ass pizza.
True.
I'll eat most pizzas realistically, but like it's hard for me to pick a favorite. I'm like you, but mainly for pizza because it's just like yeah, I'll just eat like a fucking pepperoni pizza. That's just good enough for me.
Yeah, I do.
Think if I had to pick a favorite, it'd probably be barbecue pizza though.
Ooh, barbecue is yummy. I do prefer more toppings than less. Just because, like, less ends up tasting kind of bland. Like, I don't mind me a pepperoni pizza. It just feels a little basic. But, like, give me, like, a supreme with, like, some olives and some sausage and some pepperoni, other stuff, like onion. Like, ugh. I love that shit.
I think if the, like, components of the pizza are good, like the dough, the sauce, and the cheese, then, like, I'll be fine with it. Because, like, at the point where I'm... Not to say it's bad to have a lot of toppings, but I feel like if I'm relying on a lot of toppings, then maybe the rest of the like basic components are not that good.
Oh yeah,
or not good enough.
I think like especially a bad crust will completely ruin a pizza for me.
Oh my god, if the dough is not good, you fucked up.
Yeah, if it's like, yeah, it's the one problem with Forelli's with me is it tastes fucking amazing out of the oven. It tastes less good as leftovers. Because like the crust gets a bit crunchy, like crunchier than I'd like, and like it's a little bland when it's not like hot and like served fresh. But like, man, that shit hits so hard in restaurant.
Yeah, I agree. Earlier, pizza crust is crucial.
Yeah, if it's a bad crust, it's a bad pizza. It's just how it is.
Yep. All right. We've touched on this a bit, but I like the second half of this question. So, our resident Rue Dog asks, "What are your goals or ambitions for the new year?" Which we sort of talked about, but any advice or words you want to give your community?
Advice? I would say...
Or words.
Words, yeah. I would say my biggest thing is I think New Year's resolutions are a scam. And you should take things day by day and try to be a little bit better each day. Even if it's just an ounce. Like, habits are formed over time. You cannot just like obviously you have to start somewhere, but start small and take steps towards, you know, working out more, or like if there's a project that you want to do, you know, take the basic steps and go over time. Like, you got plenty of time, and you don't gotta get it all done this year. You got plenty of time. And even if you don't think you have that much time, I'm sure you have more time than you think you do. It's one of those things. Just like, yeah, just be happy, or like take as many steps possible to making yourself happy. If you know what happiness looks like for you, then take steps towards that, whatever that means for you. And if you don't know what that means for you, then that's a good place to start. It's figuring out what makes you happy. So those are my words of wisdom for the year.
Amen. Thank you for your words, Miss Celia of the bar. That's good advice. Oh, goodness. Having this TV strapped to my head is gonna make me tired.
A little bit.
Yeah, I've also been standing this whole time, just to, you know, I'm really immersing myself. I really gotta feel like the bartender.
That's how I be. I know how it be.
Like, pretend I'm like cleaning a glass or something right now, as I'm looking at these questions. Okay. We've also talked about this one a little bit, but I think there's a potential for enough that there's still conversation. We have a question for Magic Kitty. What are some past experiences, content related or otherwise, that influence how you approach streaming and gaming as a whole?
Yeah, we did talk about this a bit earlier. I think something big about this is it was something a bit more recent. It's hard for me to say exactly when. I wanted to... Okay, it was like 2 years-ish ago when I tried to get like a collab server together and like tried to...
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, tried to like focus a lot more on collabing and other stuff. And then I just realized that like from like other content creators, there wasn't that same like urge. And so it's that sense of like, alright, when I focus on content, I have to focus on stuff like in my circle and in my own space. because if I try to rely on people outside of the space too much for like getting something like that together, I am going to be met with a huge wall that is just like probably, I won't say it's impassable, but I just don't have the connections to make something like that work out the way that I want to. So I think it's just made a lot more focus for me on like focusing on my own circles, on my own, like with the Kyodai and people like Leah siblings, and occasionally doing like collabs and like reaching out to people on those fronts and stuff. But like focus a lot more on like what I can do in my own space, because that's what I have to work with realistically. So I think that's made me be a little bit more of a realist with the last like year and a half-ish of my content.
Yeah, I definitely remember when you were trying to get that together, and it wasn't exactly working out, but I think just started having people around like the Kyodai definitely ended up, or at least it feels like, from my perspective, like a good solution to that sort of urge of just having people around, because that's the sort of social content that you tend to like to do.
Yeah, I am so happy to have Kyodai around, even if it's just for like getting little games and stuff together, or just like just chilling and doing like what is the word, like something play, like parallel play, just doing that sort of stuff, especially now that we've tested out the like the shared chat and stuff. I want to do more with that. If like Smickle's streaming and I'm streaming, just like throw up our connected chats just to have the chats connected and stuff. Because I just love that.
Makes it easier for me.
Yeah, I just love that feeling of chilling in, I don't know, just fucking chilling. And I hope that I can bring that same feeling to chat as well as like lurking content or anything like that. Just like being able to chill, chat with, like participate in whatever conversations we're having, you know, pop off when we pop off. Just that sort of stuff. Just that sort of vibe.
Yeah, it's a good vibe. All right. So, Baba is librarian as a question. We've sort of answered the first part of this. You know, what inspired you to pursue streaming? We definitely talked about that. I feel like at good length. But we have a bonus spicy question.
Oh.
Would you change anything with your current average stream vibes? And if so, what would you prefer?
Change anything about average stream vibe? Not particularly. If it's changes, it would be small changes that I'd make over time, but I can't think of anything in particular right now, like pet peeves or anything that like really get to me. I think the only thing is, it's like a lot of times we'll be chilling and like the couple people who do stream that'll be like chilling in Kyodai or whatever, we'll talk about how like, ooh, I should stream this, I should stream that, I should do that. And it's like, I would much rather them just do that rather than talking about it. Because you can only talk about it so much. But I think if you really want to do it, you will do it. And if you don't want to do it, then you won't do it. So, I think that's the only thing.
Looking at you. You know who you are.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing. There's a lot of talk about, like, Oomps wanting to do this or that. And it's like, just do it then. No balls.
True.
Just fucking do it. And if you don't vibe with it, then you don't vibe with it. And that's fine. Shrug. But yeah, I wouldn't really change much about the current streaming environment that I'm in. Maybe I should do one or two like solo streams like more than I do currently, because most of the time I have like at least somebody in call with me because I like bouncing off of people. But like Yeah, I think I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now.
That's a good place to be. John with 2 exclamation points asks, is your refrigerator running?
My refrigerator?
Yeah.
My refrigerator is running. I don't know about my refrigerator. If it's running, I hope it's running towards someplace better. 'Cause I didn't know about it, so...
So true.
Hopefully it finds somebody who knows about it.
Yeah. We want to be pedantic, whatever. Anonymous Sigillus Mage asks, what game mechanic can instantly ruin a game for you if done properly? Or if done poorly, sorry.
I was about to say, they properly chased me away from their game. I think weapon durability is a big one.
Yeah.
I think weapon durability without purpose just equals a lot of monotony. New Animal Crossing, New Horizons or whatever. Is a good example of just like, there is no need for weapon durability in that game, or like tool durability. It's pointless.
Yeah, that was weird. A weird choice.
Yeah, it's pointless, it's weird. Even gold stuff has durability, which is super, super weird. It just feels bad. But like, I know the one that people always jump on is Breath of the Wild, saying like, oh, it's too short, it's whatever.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
But it's like, that game, I feel like, does a super good job with durability, because I feel like it encourages you to constantly be using different stuff and trying different stuff. And just like, I love the feeling of constantly swapping weapons. And that was only accelerated in Tears of the Kingdom, where there's so many different materials to fuse and like other stuff like that, where it's like, I'm constantly trying new shit. And yeah, I'll have Old Reliable in the back pocket, you know, when I need them. But like, most of the time, I'm just trying new shit. I'm strapping bombs to sticks and hitting people with them. I'm fucking putting springs on my shield to jump places. It's like, that shit is just so, it feels so cool. And it feels like it encourages me to try different things. And then I get the critical hit, you know, when the weapon breaks too, which feels good. So if I know something is low, I can, you know, throw it out and hit someone with it. But like, if it's like, I think survival games do a good job with it, depending. I know Grounded was better about it. Because Grounded, if your weapon broke, or your thing broke, you could just go back to your base, click one button, and boom, it's repaired. It's not that big of a deal. But it puts like a time limit on going out and exploring to encourage you to go back and take a quick break, regroup, figure out all the things you have, and then go back out again. So that's like durability with purpose there. But like, I know, I haven't personally played Witcher 3, but I heard people, I heard conversation about Witcher 3 having durability, and it just felt so strange to me. Because there was also like repair kits that you could use when you were out in the wilderness, so it wasn't like forcing you to go back. You get your shit broken. It just feels like kind of pointless. I don't know. There's just so many games that add it just to have it, rather than for it to have some sort of meaningful gameplay loop purpose. So I think that's the biggest thing that like frustrates me.
Yeah,
it's definitely up there.
I think in terms of like, if it's just there to make me waste my time effectively, where I have to just go back and make another thing, which is, you know, often the case in like survival games, which is, you know, I guess it's part of the immersive, in quotes, experience. It's like, you know, it can be from fine to making me actively not want to play.
Yeah.
But I think if it ends up being something I have to like actively think about, then it becomes more interesting, because it's like in Fire Emblem, if I'm planning my map around how many uses I have of a certain weapon, then you know it becomes more interesting because it's part of the strategy, and it's not just like my weapon is going to break because it fucking sucks. I don't know. Like when it becomes something you actively think about, I think that's when it becomes a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, an active resource, some part of the gameplay loop it's very important. I know there's something else that really bugs me, but I'm trying to think of examples of it, because like I think that self-insert characters in video games are annoying. I think that's another big one for me.
Silent pro tag?
Silent pro tag. I think silent pro tags are particularly frustrating, especially when silent pro tag is a main part of the video game. Which again, it sounds like I'm being hypocritical because of being a Zelda fan, and Link is always a silent pro tag. But I think usually in Zelda stuff, Link is done quite well in that he is silent and he is able to be like projected onto, but also in a lot of like dialogue options or just like choices that, you know, you have to make as a player and stuff. It really shines through that Link is who he is, which, you know, relates to the player and whatnot. He is I guess a good example of a silent pro tag. But just like, I don't know, it frustrates me. Like, I remember playing Persona 5 when I started. I didn't finish that game, but I only got to like the second dungeon or whatever. The second, what are they called? Castles? Question mark? I don't remember. But
Palaces.
Palace. There we go. Thank you. But like going into it and just like they give me a character name right at the start. Like Mr. Joker Persona is supposed to have a character name, but you can put your own name over, and then like it feels like a bunch of stuff is happening to him, but he has no input on like anything that's happening. It feels like a lot of the story could kind of happen without Joker Persona in a weird way. It's
funny because I think a lot of the social links revolve like it's funny you say that. Well, for one, I think it speaks a lot to I didn't think about Link as being a silent protagonist until you brought it up just now, which I think speaks a lot to how well that one's done. But I think one of my main critiques of Persona 5 is how much of it revolves around Joker.
Yeah.
Mainly the social interaction stuff, because it feels like your teammates like never interact with each other unless they're around Joker.
Yeah.
I think that was one of my biggest issues with it. I think a lot about Byleth as being a pretty poorly implemented silent protag, because it's like the story is so critical to Byleth that making them a silent protag with like weird dialogue options is like a huge miss. On that front, I don't think they did that one really well. I
just think it's crazy that I've gotten so much more information and like personality out of Byleth in Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, and I haven't even finished that game, than I have in 3 Houses with having finished Golden Deer. It's just like, and on that same front, Shez, the protagonist of 3 Hopes, just has like a bunch of personality in and of herself or himself. Like, is very vocal about the things that they think about and they talk about and like what they believe in. And you, while you're playing them and also, you know, helping them make decisions and other stuff like that, they just very much feel like their own character. It's just so hard for me to look at main characters in video games and like when they're silent pro tags and be like, oh, that's a good character, because they just kind of feel like nothing.
It's very easy to do poorly and I think it's hard to get right, but I think that might partly be, you know, a consequence of just the people we're around. Like, I can't really think of any of our friends who like to project themselves onto video game characters in the, like, in that sort of way. But, like, I feel like it's a lot more meaningful to be able to relate to the character. And, like, as a silent protag, there's not a lot to do that, to, like, project onto them. Like, I think Robin is a good example of a well-done sort of silent protag in quotes, because they very much, it's kind of like Link, they very much have their own personality and role as the sort of tactician and stuff like that, but like they're also kind of like a little bit of that sort of self-input, but there's definitely still a lot of that personality that exists.
Thank you for reminding me about Awakening. I think I'm going to put it on my advent calendar somewhere. Maybe I'll put it for old game, quote unquote, just so I can get to it or something like that. Just because I've been meaning to like play through it for a long time now, because I mean, most of my exposure to Fire Emblem Awakening, other than starting it way back when and not actually getting super into it, is through Fire Emblem Heroes, and I really like a lot of the characters that are in it. I just haven't played it yet, so maybe I'll put that on my advent calendar this year.
Awakening was my first Fire Emblem game, so that one holds a dear place in my heart. I like that one a lot. Also, yes, that's a better way to put it, is Robin is an avatar character, not really a silent protag. I guess a better example of that for someone that I do like would be Makoto Persona 3. I think is better done than the... Well, actually, Yu Murakami is also super well done. But, like, I think those two are pretty good examples of something that fits that... Yeah. That's... Yu Murakami is, like, Mr. Him. So.
Yeah, I know I plan on getting to Persona 4.
You can't really achieve that with... Yeah.
Actually, I have one more video game pet peeve. I have a lot of these just because, like, I feel like I'm pretty open-minded, but also I care a lot about game design. I hate over-tutorialization.
Oh my god.
I think it's really frustrating to have my hand held for, like, 90% of a video game. And it's okay if it's, like, a quick pop-up and I can just press X and I can figure it out myself. But, like, if it's, like, whole scenes that I'm being, like, feel like I'm being dragged through to learn how to play the game, quote unquote, it's incredibly frustrating to me. Pop-ups, I don't mind. It's when it's like 5 whole missions or whatever, which are all tutorial. It's like, I want to be able to figure this out. And I understand that not everybody wants that some people want to, you know, be told what to do and so they know what to do and so on and so forth. But I want to be able to figure out the stuff that I can do with the video game. In some sense. I think that's why Monster Hunter I really like a lot. Because Monster Hunter I figured out, like, from nothing. And that game has so many intricate, like, moving parts and pieces, but, like, it has tutorials in it if you go and look for them. But, like, most of that game is just like, here's the monster. Fight them.
Yeah, a lot of the, like, you'll get the tutorial pop-ups for new menus and stuff when you visit them the first time. But, like, you don't really get a lot of that tutorial. I think gachas are a good example of, like, way too handholdy tutorials where they, like, force you to go to a menu and they make you upgrade the thing and use the material and you have to do that for the entire beginning of the game. Definitely a big example of that I think of.
Pretty fresh too with Zenless being played by quite a few people now. I know Zenless. It frustrated me quite a bit getting into Zenless of, like, every time, and there's a lot of like features and stuff. I think Zenless does a good job of spreading those out enough so it's not like constantly beating you over the head with it forever, but like it at least spreads it out. So it's like for example, discs, like your artifacts of the game. You don't get them until like level 30. Like you don't have to start worrying about them until like level 30. And it like spreads it out enough where I was talking with Shades and I was like, if they would have shown me artifacts and stuff like that and like dragged me through that whole process at like level 20 or something like that, like an earlier level, I probably would have dropped the game. I probably would have just, it's like, nope, nah, I'm good. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot.
Yeah, I was definitely a little bit miffed that I was still getting tutorials like that well into like chapter 2 story. But I think I'm at the point now where I don't really get them anymore, so
yeah.
it's fine.
It takes a while to get through them, but once you're on the other side, smiles. I think like JRPGs in particular are like also pretty rough about it. Mostly because they'll be teaching you their like 80 features throughout the game. I just think about Phantom Brave, how I didn't know how fusing things worked in that game until I had like 3 chapters left of the main game. And then I finally understood. It just clicked for me how combining items and stuff worked. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. And then I played around with it a bunch. But it's like, you don't get that moment of like discovery when 80 billion tutorials are popped in your face. It's like, okay, I know everything about the video game now. Whatever.
Yeah, I think JRPGs can be like that. I think some of them do a better job about it than others, though.
Yeah. I think Engage felt pretty good as far as like balancing it's teaching you how to play with learning for yourself how to play. It let you play around a lot in like any way that you really wanted to, while only giving you the basic, hey, here's a mission about how the engage mechanic works. Here, have a tutorial about, I don't know, how blacksmithing works and stuff like that. Like go to that menu and do that. I think it did a pretty good job.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen more games recently that sort of let you tailor that tutorial experience. If you've played previous games, you can like say like, yeah, I'm familiar with these kinds of games, and they'll pop up, you know, fewer tutorials. So I think stuff like that has gotten a bit better. Maybe that's just my limited perspective.
I hope we are out of the age of hand-holding video gamers. Ugh.
Yeah, Shades, the limited resource spend it now is so freaking annoying. Alright, next question. Sorry to cut you off a little bit.
Oh no, you're good, you're good. Like I said, I get it.
Which of these haven't I asked? I guess while we're on it, another question from Kyrie. What was the hottest character in ZZZ for you? By the way, ! ZZZ, download the game with Miss Elia's link. Find out who the hottest character is for you before Miss Elia answers this question.
You know, I'll give you guys a second to download and stuff, you know. Gotta find out for yourself first before I influence your opinion. Hottest character? Grace is up there for me. Sweaty, filthy, nasty mechanic. I don't know what it is. It's actually like in this last year that I realized that I like really like those kinds of characters, and Grace just happened to also fit that bill, and I was like, fuck, oh my god.
I think about the Sunbreak blacksmith, and also now the
oh my god,
and also
Gemma.
now the Wilds blacksmith.
Gemma, holy shit. God damn.
Yeah,
I think It's mostly the women. I'm not super into any of the men that are currently in the game. A little bit Harumasa. He fits the
Harumasa's kind of fine.
Yeah, he fits the twink aesthetic that I like. He's a
unfortunately
funny little guy.
Fortunately, I don't think Zenless has enough men.
No.
I think we need more hot men.
Not a lot, and a lot of them are like Ben or Lycaon, you know, furry boys.
Oh my god. There was so much Lycaon thirst when that game came out. Who is it? There's Harumasa. Lighter? I think Lighter is
my fucking god. Lighter
the
is
closest
actually...
I get to like a guy I would actually like.
Yeah, Lighter... See, my problem with all the Sons of Caledon is the Sons of Caledon are my oops. They are... Like, I do not think that way about a single one of them. Those are oomph. Grace is up there. Yanagi is also up there for me. Something about hot, smart office lady is like.
It works. Also, Boats is right. I didn't post about it, but the robot lady who runs the music store that gets you the discs.
Damn!
Holy mama.
Billy does it for me. Could always count on him to make me. Oh, Billy's cool. Billy's also oomph.
Billy's a good character. Billy's a good character. I like Billy. I like the cunty hairs.
The cunty hairs. It's other than like Grace and Yanagi. I don't really like look at a lot of the characters as endless as like that is hot character. It is either most of the characters in that game or my oomph or my daughter. Like
yeah. I think Zenless is pretty good about like you being pretty friendly with most characters, but like, you know,
yeah, having
that barrier of you're doing this for work still.
Actually,
I think they do a pretty good job of that.
Hottest character in the game, Belle. Thank you.
Yeah, I like them looking like they'd call me a slur. Right. From Anonymous, we have least favorite Discord feature.
Least favorite Discord feature?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck, dude. I don't know. I think my least favorite Discord feature is replying, pinging people being the default. I think that's my least favorite. I don't know why that's the default. I don't know why you can't set what your default is for whether it's like ping or no ping for replies. Because I think the default should be to not. And that if you really, really need to make sure that somebody sees your reply to something, you can ping them. Or if it's like reviving an old post or something like that, have the ping on or something like that. But like, I don't need to be accidentally pinged every 5 seconds because I was having a conversation in general chat. Like, ugh, so annoying. So incredibly annoying.
I think... Funny enough, I think mine is the all the stuff around their like monetization, like the quest pop-ups you get. Yeah. Fucking annoying. The Discord shop, I hate it. The replies is one of them. I think forums are good, but their implementation is weird.
Yeah, I wish I could search through individual forums. That's my one big request.
Yeah.
I
also don't know why forums exist when you could already organize channels into categories, like by just, you know, doing that, like how the Discord is already laid out. But...
I think it is easier when you are wanting to have like a ton of different, like for how we use it for like game forums and stuff like that, for having like a bunch of different games and you can search for the game you want to talk about. Like it's really, really nice in the Archipelago server for looking for a future game coming up in Archipelago, like something being worked on. it's really, really nice for that, I think. I just wish I could search an individual forum for information.
Yeah.
I will say, when it comes to Discord monetization, I think compared to things they could have done, I think the shop is at least relatively harmless.
Yeah.
I think quests feel like a lesser of two evil, or a lesser evil compared to like straight up having ads in the middle of my server list or whatever. Like, yeah, it's a little bit annoying to have them pop up above my little bar or whatever, but if that's keeping Discord up and running, because I know Discord is fairly expensive, especially with how much bandwidth they have to use for like actually running servers and stuff like that. If it's keeping it up and running, then like I'm like fine with it if it's making them a decent amount of money, but like as long as it doesn't go farther than where they're at right now, like more intrusive, so to speak, than where they're at right now.
Oh, then I would. Low-key, I might go back to an older platform.
That's right. Back to TeamSpeak, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Who's going back to raid call with me?
But yeah, I think it's like annoying, but it's a minor hindrance, and it doesn't really get in the way of anything I'm immediately doing. Like, if I had to like watch a 5-second ad before I got into a call or something like that, like
I would die.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
I would uninstall the fucking application instantly.
Where it's at right now, it's like it's getting the money. It's whatever, as long as they stay alive and keep doing what they're doing. Because so much of my stuff, what I do on a day-to-day basis, relies on Discord.
Yeah, which is kind of the problem of they add these features, and it's like feature I don't like that might make me drop it otherwise, but like I don't have a better alternative right now.
Yeah, I think the big thing is like there's been several times where Discord has almost gone under. Like when the old like Discord game store that they tried to launch or whatever almost sunk the platform. Like it did so poorly as a monetization option that it almost sunk the platform trying to get it together in the first place. So like,
yeah, that like died instantly.
Discord is petering on like they're definitely doing better now, but it has always sort of felt like they're petering on like trying to make enough money to stay functional and just fucking exploding.
Yeah.
So here's hoping. Smiles.
Yeah, Discord Mobile is its own beast of a mess.
Yeah.
But we can move on. Speaking of teetering, the Vapor City clown car is teetering precariously over the edge of a cliff. Which oomph do you banish to the trunk to balance it out?
Which oomph?
This is from Anonymous.
Which oomph do I banish to the trunk?
To balance it out.
I mean, I feel like in this situation, it would be kind of the first person I see. Who do I trust to actually balance it out and not like fuck it up somehow? I think that's what it really depends on.
I think it's mostly, it might be a weight thing, but like, yeah.
I don't mean that. I mean
you reason this however you want to.
Yeah, I mean like not shifting around too much or like whatever. It wouldn't be like a permanent thing, you know, just till we get situated again. You know, I could probably send like John to the nap dimension. Like be like, John, go take a nap in the trunk. Like go catch up on some sleep. Bada bing, bada boom. A couple hours later, boom, we're back on the road again. John is well rested.
John is well rested. The car isn't falling off the cliff.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something with staring at the Google Sheets and Google Docs.
I have a plugin for dark mode Google Docs. And
I might need that if I do this again.
I can always send it your way.
We have a question from Early, and it's not his usual question, much to your surprise, about which exotic animal. It's actually, which Pathfinder 2E cantrip would you want to be able to know? Like, I assume this means in like a real life context. Early can correct in the chat if he wants to.
Like in real prestidigitation, it is just like the most useful. Like you can cook, you can clean with it, you can heat or like make cold, like raise or lower the temperature of like basic water and stuff. Like it is just the most useful day-to-day cantrip I could ever want. Like I don't need an attack cantrip or something. Like I don't need fucking gouging claw in my day-to-day life. I don't think I need to turn my hand into claws and kill somebody. But like, man, prestidigitation would be so nice. It just covers so many bases. Hey, what? Oh.
I think Days would be a great one to have too.
Days, just fuck you. 1d6 mental damage.
I wanna psychic blast somebody and destroy their mental.
I think Eat Fire would be really funny.
Me going to somebody's fireplace on Christmas Day and just
then blowing smoke in their face.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other ones. Light is like generally useful.
Yeah.
Stuff like Detect Magic or Read Aura, things that would normally be good in Pathfinder or pointless IRL.
You don't know that.
I guess I don't know that necessarily. Trying to think of other stuff that I just have on like. That's kind of all I can think. Guidance actually could be good. It's like making somebody slightly better at something for like a second. It'd be huge.
Oh god, what was I just thinking of? What's the Vitality Lash for when I encounter the zombies?
What do you mean when you encounter the zombies? What the fuck do you mean? Do you know something I don't?
Don't worry about it. You'll know when the time comes.
Okay, whatever. Can't think of really that many more cantrips that like.
There's a pretty sizable list of them, but yeah.
There's a pretty sizable list of them. It's just like a good like 2/3 of them are combat cantrips that I sort of like immediately rule out in my head because it's like I don't fucking need that. I could think of some like first level spells and stuff that would also be nice. There's like fucking, or I think it's like a level 2 spell. Ooh. It's literally like breathe water. That would be cool. That'd be cool to have.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would love to have prestidigitation just to clean my house. That would be fantastic.
It's so nice. It's like 10 minutes for like, it would be especially nice because I have a cat and occasionally like, or like drink spill and stuff. And it's like 10 minutes per bulk, per like full bulk of like material, to like completely clean it. So it's like, oh fuck, at the party somebody spilled a drink and I just go over there and like for like, you know, a little spill or something, it would probably be like a minute or whatever, and I just go hold my hand over it and be like, keep doing what you're doing, I got this. So nice. I spill something on myself. It'd be mostly for spills because I'm fucking clumsy. It's like I spill a drink on myself and I just press to digitate my shirt. I'm like, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Super useful to have. Alright, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Oops. Accidentally closed it.
My drink gets cold. And I just press to digitate it, heat it back up again.
Okay. We have one more question from Kyrie.
Okay.
If we get enough snow, can we build an igloo together? If not, can you teach me how to make the roof at least?
I don't think we'd get that much snow. If we could. I've never built an igloo myself. I built a snow cave. I used to do that. There was a couple years at Scouts where I built snow caves. And it was really funny because you get what you put into it when you make a snow cave. So it's like the first year I did it, me and my group spent like the bare minimum on our cave, made it like so we could get our stuff into it and technically sleep in it. And then we went sledding for the rest of the day, and then we had to sleep in it, and it sucked. And then the next year, we spent the whole day making our snow cave, and we like dug down, cut out like full raised beds, like slabs of snow, for like our beds. And we had a whole patio out front with like benches that we made, with a spot in the middle for our little our little propane stoves, so we could like make food and stuff. And we had people over like that night to like come out and hang and like play some cards. We put a little tarp over the table in the middle that had the stove hole, and like played cards and stuff. And then they had to go back to their shitty little holes, and we slept like kings. And let me tell you, they learned their lesson, and I'm sure that next year that they went, if they went, they probably did the same thing we did.
Okay. That about wraps it up for viewer questions that were submitted. I guess at this point, if there's any burning questions in the chat, or if there's anything you want to talk about, it's open. It's free for all.
I'm pretty chilling right now. If there's anything that chat has to ask, then I'm good.
How's your drink doing?
I've like touched a little bit on my second drink. I've just been sipping on it.
Sounds like we need another cheers.
Ah, I'm not bad.
The sunset dive.
To Sunset Dive, baby. Oh, I need to hit up some people. I know that like Rhea, I've been wanting to have on for a while. Momo, Candy Momoko, I've been wanting to have on. Muddy, I've been talking to more lately, and I haven't gotten to spend much time with her, so I'd love to have her on. Talk to her.
All right.
Anybody ask?
Let's take a look.
Preferred music genre? Not yet. But first, while I have time to think about that question, John asked, do you have any inspirations, Nick?
Do I have any inspirations? Ooh. I have... honestly, one of my biggest inspirations lately, I'm sure people have seen me post his art, but Hyde Tobacco on Twitter, he draws the most beautiful Fubuki pieces I've ever seen, is kind of an inspiration to me. He posts a lot of, like, outside of his art, he posts, like, some, like, life-changing tweets that I've seen, and, like, he's kind of inspired me in multiple ways, and I think that's a pretty big one lately. Just like in terms of his approach to life and like how he thinks about stuff has been kind of revolutionary for me. Like just the sort of way he goes about the things that he does is very positive, very like, I don't know, like he loves doing what he's doing. And I think the approach he takes to that sort of stuff is incredible to me. And I want to be like him. Not necessarily, you know, doing the art, but like just how he approaches things, I think, is something a lot of people can learn from. Yes, Mudkid, you can have Karmatrine. You can have 20 Karmatrine. Can I do that here?
You can. It will give you dubious food. You have to actually like grab and pull it over.
It's not working.
Ooh, that's rough.
I don't want to fuck with it too much right now. That's okay. Have you come up with an answer for your favorite music genre, or? What about vibe? Music vibe. I think that could work.
It's so hard for me because this is another favorites question. I'm so bad at favorites. But it really depends on like what I'm going for, like the mood I'm looking for me, or like for my characters. I've really loved making character playlists lately for like tabletop stuff. And I think it's so fun and sometimes really goofy to like fuck around with that kind of stuff. Like for example, the first song on Saki's playlist is literally like 2.5 minutes of just like nature sounds and birds, like just like nothing. But then like really diving deep into like some of the stuff they've done, or like some background stuff, or like how they generally think, and like picking songs and applying to those moods. And I do sort of those same things to myself. I think one of my favorite albums though is Hypochondriac from Break-Ins. I have listened to that album so many times. So many times. And I love it. And it's weird because I'm not like super into like rap or anything like that. But like, man, I love rap that like has like a lot of just like a lot of heart and meaning and like personality behind it. Just a lot of like personal feelings, because like I listen to Hypochondriac and it's like, fuck. Like, oh, my heart.
I love music like that can make you feel. It's why I love like ballads and like more emotional music, like kind of regardless of genre, like emo or like J-pop or stuff like that. Like I kind of like stuff that makes you feel something.
Yeah.
That's stuff that always I tend to be attracted towards, because there's like, I like to think there's like meaning. Like I feel like when writing music, or at least how I look at it, if there's something in there that's like taken from personal experience and it's something that I could maybe relate to, then it's like a lot more impactful and meaningful for me when I'm listening to it. But that's also just how I like to approach music, is because I think that says a lot about what somebody how somebody thinks a little bit, like the kind of music that they enjoy and what they look for in it.
Actually, this is an awesome segue into talking about how I plan on doing the playlist this year, which is going to be different.
Oh my god.
Rather than just, you guys will still be able to spend points to add songs and stuff, but rather than just like immediately adding stuff onto the playlist this year, I'm going to do a stream, or like part of a stream, around the end of every month, where we're going to take all the songs that were submitted and we're going to listen to all of them on stream, and we're going to vote what we're keeping and what we're not keeping on the playlists. And because I want it to be a little bit more of like a, I don't know, like a group activity. Like make some content with it. Figure out what your guys' music taste is and like put it on the playlist as a group. Curated, yeah.
I mean, I can't flood the playlist with my propaganda anymore. It will be a little harder.
Yeah, you'll have at least some barrier to entry. You know, you have pretty good taste in music, I think. So like, I'm sure people will fuck with it. So like, we'll be listening to it and seeing if it stays.
Oh my god, wait. This could actually be a fantastic thing. If I add every song on Suisa's album that drops in January, I could make everybody listen to it.
It's true, you could. Hey, Sonic music is good. It's like one of the best parts about Sonic, so.
True.
Yeah, the first one of those will be coming sometime end of January, so I'm still working out exactly how it's going to look, which is why I have the add a song to playlist and stuff disabled right now. So we'll be seeing how exactly it's going to play out and look, but for now, spoils.
It's a fun idea.
Yeah. It's something I at least want to try out. And if it doesn't work out, we'll probably just go back to the way it was before. And we'll keep rocking. But
understandable.
But yeah. I think if it's more casual listening though, I would probably go with like drum and bass. I love listening to drum and bass when I'm doing like gaming stuff. It's good.
Yeah. I've banned myself from listening to like Eurobeat or anything that like gets you a bit more pumped up while I'm driving, because it makes me speed like recklessly, and we can't have that.
Me, whenever Paramore Driving Fast in My Car plays, and I'm like, I can speed a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny because there's one exception to that, and I have Carbonated Love on my playlist, but it's like one of like hundreds of songs, so it's not likely to come up, but it could be risky if it does.
It's okay, it just gets you to work a little bit faster.
True. Not like I don't speed anyway, but like it gets a little worse when the right music is playing.
Any other questions in chat?
What are your burning questions for Miscelia Dev? This is a rare opportunity. Bye.
Bye. And down to answer one or two more things. My throat is getting just an ounce sore, but
yeah, my head's starting to hurt a little bit, so I'll probably wrap up soon.
What animal?
Oh my god, early's.
I did.
I
did actually think about this, preparing myself for the question, so I was surprised to see it not come up. But if I had to choose an exotic animal to eat, I think it would probably be, probably like ostrich. I'm really curious.
Ooh.
Just like big bird. That's a big thing, because I really like any other kind of bird that I've tried so far. So I'm wondering if the big will affect the taste. Oh.
Shane's vetoed that question.
So I think ostrich, honestly, is the answer. I'm kind of in the same boat that Con was in, actually, of like, I'd probably be willing to try anything. But I'm like particularly curious about big birds.
From Sesame Street?
Kind of. Answer my other question, the cantrip one?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I was saying...
We assumed you meant in a real life context.
I said prestidigitation.
So we approached it that way.
Yeah, I said prestidigitation. There's a couple other like honorable mentions, like light is like potentially nice.
Gouging Claw.
Not Gouging Claw. The problem is like a lot of offensive spells are like nullified because they're not things that I'd really need in day-to-day life.
Daze.
I don't think I need to pull out needle darts on anybody.
Maybe not you, but I do.
Picked the right answer. Yippee! Is there a point where I should stop rolling for this one sigil? Ooh.
What sigil are you rolling for? Because I will say, a lot of the 5+ that are like in the pulling, the regular pulling, you will probably get a lot of, but it depends on what you're looking for.
I am going to give you a wonderful piece of information. Do you know how to save scum trans marvels?
Any EOS plus sigils?
So
that is transmuting.
Here is the fun fact that I will lay upon you. If you build up, say, like 60 or 90 Transmarvel stacks, and then you roll them, you look at what you got, and if you didn't get something you wanted, you close the game, or not close the game, you return to main menu. You go back in, you go run a quest, you can do like the level 1 Quakedile quest or whatever. And then you go and you roll again. That is the trick.
Yeah. I will note, so you don't, after you roll, don't save, just exit.
Yeah.
And I will also note, it has to be a quest completed.
Yes.
If you fail the quest, it doesn't work. Like,
yeah.
If you go on the quest and leave, it doesn't work.
Yeah. So if you want to bypass a little bit of the farming for the right sigils and stuff, you can do a little bit of safe scumming as a treat.
I didn't, because I don't like my biggest qualms with Relink are late game building being a lot of RNG. It got kind of annoying. Even though I have 6 characters with all their endgame stuff, and like Narmaya is fully optimized, but like the other 5 are like decently optimized.
But yeah, that is my big Grand Blue tip if you're looking to make that process just an ounce faster. And by an ounce faster, I mean quite a bit when you're doing Transmarvels. But my other piece of advice is just try and get any IO plus, just like any plus one. I guess it doesn't matter as much with the pluses, because the pluses you're looking for both of them on the same thing. But
depends.
Yeah. But if you're looking for like IO's Warpath, for example, then try and get it with like any skill you would reasonably want, and then build the rest of your build around that.
Yeah. That is the way to do it, because
that is the hardest
pigeonholing yourself into pigeonholing yourself into a particular substat on a sigil that you can't sigil synthesis is way harder than getting a substat you can use and building around it.
Yeah. Same thing with right stones.
Fuck right stones. Yeah, if you need help with building, I've done too many hours of it.
Oh, alright. I think I'm just about good. At least for Sunset Dive.
I think we've been at this for like 3-ish hours.
We've been at this for quite some time now.
We've been doing Sunset Dive for quite some time now. In my never mind.
Huh? Oh.
All right, I think that about wraps it up for Sunset Dive. I hope I was an entertaining interviewer for you, and we had many good questions and conversations and things to talk about. Thank you for everybody who submitted questions. Your questions are appreciated, and thank you for participating and watching. Any closing words, Miss Alia?
Not too much. I'm a little tipsy right now. It was fun being on this side of the table for once. I've had this idea in my head for like a while now, and I've like toyed around with it with Nuck a couple times of like joking about it. And then for the subathon, I like actually got a hold of Nuck and was like, "Hey, you want to do something for me?" I
spent all of like 20 minutes, 30 minutes after you sent me the template, like figuring out how exactly I wanted to do this. So it didn't take me too long, but it's definitely something I tried with, given the resources that you gave me.
You are one of the few people who have seen behind the screen of how I do things.
Yeah. I've seen a little bit of the magic now.
So that template is tried and true to me. I use it for every single sunset dive. Cool. In that sense, thank y'all so much. I'm not sure if I'm like done. I might chill and do some Terraria or something for a little bit. But I am going to cut stream for just a moment so I can separate Sunset Dive from the rest of the stream. So it will go down for just a bit, just a moment. And then I'll probably be back and I'll just be chilling and playing Terraria and hanging with Oops. But thank y'all. I was supposed to have the timer going, but I fucking forgot again. I even have the window open.
It's okay.
Be able to do it.
It's okay. You're cutting off streams, so just subtract that time and start it again for Terraria.
True. That's probably exactly what I'm going to do. So yeah, I'm going to press the BRB button real quick, and I will be back with y'all shortly, reset up and ready to go for some evening vibing. Thank y'all for hanging.
Yippee.
I hope you guys had fun. Yippee! And thank you, Nuck.
Yippee!
Yippee!